Good afternoon. We are on Sunday, end of the week. Tomorrow is another day, another shot, another opportunity to carpe diem, seize the day. So today's topic of DADMOMISMs is going to be some people are not loyal to you. They're loyal to their need of you, right? Once their need changes, so does their loyalty. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, in my life, I've been through trials and tribulations like many of us have, and we have people that we think that are loyal to us. They hang out in our lives. They want to be around us. They communicate with us. We do things with them. Sometimes it can be people that you've known for a year, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, people from elementary school all the way up to adulthood, people that we think that are loyal to us, but really they're loyal to the need of us. And when those things change, that loyalty changes in a heartbeat. For an example, story of my own life, we'll go back to the fact of, the day that things changed and separation occurred in my marriage. I certainly found out who was loyal to me and who was loyal to the need of me. People that I thought were supportive of me all of a sudden were talking behind my back. They were spreading rumors about me, or all of a sudden they just weren't communicating with me. I couldn't get a hold of them, or, they weren't getting a hold of me anymore. And, I found out that their loyalty wasn't necessarily rooted in belief and having faith in me, but in the things that I did for them, or the things that maybe now my ex did for them. And some of these people were immediate family members, like relatives, so not immediate, pardon me, but relatives that, give the guise of the fact that they were supportive of me going through the trials and tribulations I was going through. But yet when push come to shove, they sided with my now ex, right? So we're talking blood-related relatives, and even some friends that were friends of mine for 10, 15 years. And you find out that loyalty isn't as deep as you think it is, right? The people will throw you under a bus when times get tough, or they maybe believe the sob story that other people tell them, or, the lies, the deception, or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden that person you thought that was loyal to you, that friend, that family member, isn't all of a sudden available to you. They've disconnected from you, or you hear the rumors and the storytelling. And, so back to what I was saying, some people are not loyal to you. They are loyal to their need of you. Once their need changes, so does their loyalty. Well, what would their need of you be? Well, sometimes it could have been the fact that you were a place for them to come and hang out, right? And one person I found out, and it may sound terrible, but they had the hots for my wife. And all of a sudden, and they were a friend of mine before they ever knew my wife. And all of a sudden, things didn't work out. All of a sudden, this person wasn't communicating with me, but they were sure communicating with my now separated wife. And their loyalty to me, which I thought was sound, came out to be not loyalty to me. They had ulterior motives, right? So that's just one example of how somebody who you think is loyal is not loyal. They're loyal to their need. Well, the need is that they had access to come hang out with me and see my wife and visit with my wife. And when I look back at it at that time, now, this many years later, 20 years later, that person was calling, knowing for a fact that I wouldn't be home, but I didn't think twice of it, call and say, hey, is Dwight around? And then proceed to know that I wasn't there. But I never really thought about it because I thought they were a loyal friend. Then they'd be talking to my wife, right? And found out, some of the things that were going on. There wasn't any cheating or anything in that regards with that person that I mentioned. But their loyalty was the fact that they had, a hankering for my wife, right? So their loyalty was not true and genuine. Now ask yourself, how do you know if somebody's true and genuine in your life, and how their fact of they're truly loyal? Well, I guess you have to look at it. I know as I've aged and got more wisdom, I look at the fact, how do people, what are their actions? So words are one thing, but actions are really what cement the words. So if somebody says one thing and their actions say something different, then you know their words are a bunch of bullshit, right? So your actions have to equal your words. So the lesson for this is throughout life, loyal people, whether they're family, their friends, their associates, clients, are people that when they say things, their actions equal their words. And that it's so important that we understand that simple statement. Our actions must equal our words. So if we say something, do it. Don't be a person that talks out of the side of their mouth and, they're blah, 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 blah. You're saying a bunch of things and then you don't actually accomplish, or you don't actually stick to your word of what you say you're going to be, right? So if you think you're loyal to somebody, show them you're loyal. If you are an honest, true person, loyalty means the world. But unfortunately, I've found it many times in my life, people that claim that they're loyal to me really aren't, right? And when I've sat back, and again, it's through wisdom as we age, we understand that people's loyalty is questionable. And if we actually sit and yes, you should analyze your friendships and your associations. I wish I would have done that way back then when I got separated and then divorced, because I have family members, aunts, and other relatives that I have not spoken to more than a few times, maybe at a funeral or a wedding, said hi to them, nodded my head, but ignored many of them because their loyalty wasn't to me. Their loyalty was to the relationship of maybe my ex, or the relationship of maybe they liked the fact that we were together and they didn't appreciate the fact I got separated and then divorced. Maybe their faith was so twisted that they couldn't accept the circumstances I was going through, and they were a judgmental POS, unfortunately. And that's basically what happened. Loyalty is earned, right? Loyalty is done through actions. So now when I look at people in my life, whether again it's relatives, family, clients, doesn't matter who it is, and they say one thing to me, I honestly take a hard look and a hard thought process between my 6 inches. Does that person actually mean what they say? Do they actually have the actions that, fall into place? Or are they just, talking out of the side of their ass and they really don't know what the hell they're talking about? And, I can't trust them. So you're going to have people like that in your life, and that's okay. But always keep them at an arm's distance. Something like the coronavirus, keep that 6 feet away from me and communicate with those people. And, if it gets bad enough, you're better off to go at the fork in the road, let them go off the cliff and you go down the path and continue on with your journey, whether there's hills or valleys, flat spots, or you got mountains to climb, whatever. Look for people that are truly loyal by their actions, right? What they say actually has an action behind it. They say they're kind, you see they're kind. They say that they're faith-bearing, they're faith-bearing. They're kind. They're good to other people. It doesn't mean when you say you're faith-bearing that you're somebody that believes in God. I do. But it doesn't mean that somebody else that says, I have faith. That doesn't mean that they're God-fearing, or that they're an atheist, or whatever the case may be. Maybe they have faith in humanity. Maybe they just, they're kind and they're gentle and they're just great human beings. So bottom line, loyalty is done and earned through actions. And what a wake-up call in my life when I went through my separation, divorce, to find out people that I thought were loyal, some of them for my whole life, right? Relatives that all of a sudden you find out when you're in your 30s, they ain't loyal. they're just looking for drama, and they'll throw you under a bus, and they'll take whatever drama they can add onto their pile, which, you know what, was actually a blessing that I had a lot of these people in my life fall off. I found out what they truly were. I found out that they were gossipers. I found out that their actions of their life didn't equal their words. They said they were compassionate and supportive, but yet after the fact, their actions, which were based on words and storytelling and gossiping, was not supportive. So, you know, it's all a life lesson. We continue to persevere and move on. God bless. If any of you have any questions or comments, please DM me, comment below, share this with everybody you know. Maybe it'll help somebody else out. Hey, Zachary, Tiffany, Mark, Aaron, appreciate y'all. God bless. Peace out. Enjoy your Sunday. God bless.